All right, what you just saw was a Suzuki 150 horsepower four-stroke outboard in action without talons. Now, I did make a video of this exact same setup with talons on the boat. And I have a whole playlist of different types of outboards in action on the back of some of the boats I've owned. I will link them in an iCard above. Now, I do have to say, I think removing the talons has gained me an extra mile per hour. Before, when I had the talons, I was getting 43 to 44 miles per hour. Removing the talons, now I'm getting 44, 45. I've actually seen 46 miles per hour. And it's probably a combination of things. The talons were dragging in the water, which would have slowed down the boat. The outboard itself is also breaking in, and usually when you break in an outboard, it starts getting faster. Now, I don't know how many hours I have on this outboard. It may be 40 or 50, most likely less. So one could say it still has a little bit more to break in. Now, there's not much else I can really say about this. I do have a Z-Lock jack plate on it that was on it before as well. And I think it's maxed out. So we're as low as this thing will take the outboard on this 21-foot Catfish Pro, Excel Catfish Pro. If after watching both videos you think that this needs to be adjusted somehow, let me know in the comments below. With it maxed out all the way down, maybe it needs to come up an inch. I don't know. It could give me more speed. Now the bolts on the actual outboard, it's one down. So there's a bolt up here and one down on this one too. So the motor is kind of a little bit higher, but I guess a little bit lower than what you would normally be if you were directly on the transom. I guess. Not 100% sure. I will say I am definitely not an expert, but my knowledge is good enough to be able to do like oil changes if I wanted to. I did let the dealership do the first oil change on this outboard. Now, I think on my last video, someone was asking what prop is on this, and it says Suzuki 3X16X21.5R. And it is a 3-blade prop. My previous boat, which was a bay boat, Excel Bay Pro 203, had a 4-blade prop on it. And I've been thinking about maybe trying to put a 4-blade on here just to see the difference. I don't remember the difference between a 3-blade and a 4-blade. What I do know is the hull of this boat, it slides everywhere. If I'm going around a corner, it is sliding around that corner. The hull reminds me of a jet boat. It doesn't grab the water. The hull doesn't grab the water. And I think there's only one time under it, right down the middle, and that's it. Another thing I've noticed, if I'm on perfectly, calm water and just, going down the river or going down the lake or whatever, it's wagging. Like it's wanting to do kind of, the whole boat is just wagging just a little bit, which is kind of odd. If you introduce any like chop or whatever, then you can't tell that it's doing anything like that. It's just going straight down the river. In fact, it feels, okay with just a little bit of movement of the water. But when you get a lot of chop, oh boy, this boat does not ride good in chop. It is definitely a river boat, not meant to, be on the lake when there's 2-foot waves. And definitely, if you have a boat like this one and you see a wake boat, like, waking for their guys to surf, stop, because it really, really hates wake boat waves. It's pretty bad. The Excel Bay Pro 203 was night and day when it comes to a lot of chop and even going through wake boat waves. It almost wants me to get that new side console boat because it has that Bay Pro hull on it. I had to look it up real quick. It is the Bolt 203. The Bolt 203 is basically a Bay Pro 203, but it's a side console boat. And I would highly recommend that for anyone wanting to get a side console Excel boat, especially a 20-footer. That's going to be a beautiful boat. Although it is a little bit skinnier. I think it's only 68 inches wide, while this one is 72 inches wide. This feels a little bit more stable than that, I think. I don't know. I was okay with its stability. I never really complained about it. At least I don't think I complained about it. I had a previous boat, a G3, that I did complain about the stability. It was their jet boat. And I don't know why that one was so wobbly, but the Bay boat wasn't that wobbly, and this one's not really that wobbly. For a boat, I know you guys have seen it wobble before, while I'm fishing in it, but hey, it's a boat. It's not a pontoon, and, maybe if it was a little bit heavier on the bottom would help it, but as is, I like it. It is good and stable for being a glorified bass boat. I am glad that Excel has made the Stormcat an actual real catfish boat. On the Stormcat, you don't have a back deck. You do have a 100-gallon live well in the back that you can just, walk up to, and you're just, you have your rods there. You don't have anything to trip over to get to your back fishing rods. My hope is they do make a longer Stormcat where you can have some bench seats in the side. And here, let me show you an image that I made and sent to Excel of what I would like to see. Right here. On that image, I took side bench seats out of a Wooldridge Alaskan jet boat and put it into an extended Stormcat, where I had actually cut it in an editing program, opened it, and then just copy pasted it to make it look a little bit longer, and then I put the two side seats in. That is the perfect boat, the perfect catfish boat that I would love to have. And it will probably take me about 10 years to get. So I'm going to stick to this boat. I'm going to guide out of this boat as long as humanly possible until I can find my way into a Stormcat or a Wooldridge Alaskan. I still haven't completely decided yet. However, both boats cost about the same. So getting to my dream boat will take a while, which is fine by me. And you guys can actually help me maybe achieve my dream. All you have to do is subscribe to my channel and watch my videos. And if you're feeling froggy enough, book a fishing trip. You can check out my guide service at tnrvg.com. Anyway, I got a little bit sidetracked there. That's just one of the things with me that I keep, getting boats with back decks on them and complaining about, retail boats, retail catfish boats still having back decks. And Excel is the only one who has corrected that. To my knowledge, if you know of a retail catfish boat that doesn't have a back deck that I don't know about, leave a comment below. Now back to the Suzuki Outboard. It remains to be seen on, how well this will treat me. I do know a lot of the saltwater guys have been converting over to Suzukis. You can see them everywhere around the ocean now, so maybe that's a good thing. The only little issue that I've seen happen is when I do a cold start on the motor. When I'm out on the lake and I first start it, I can hear some kind of rattling in it, like the valves or the pistons or something just, not having enough oil on them, which does worry me a little bit. But I've had plenty of cars that did that as well. And some of them were Hondas and Toyotas. I'm hoping it's not a problem. I might talk to my dealership about it, but it's kind of just a minor issue, I guess. It's not holding oil or it's just the way it is. I don't know. Leave a comment below if yours does have just kind of a slight rattle when you first start it. And it doesn't happen all the time. Oh, there is another kind of a weird issue with it. There is a separate power wire that goes to like a computer on it. And from what Suzuki says is you have to have that power wire on your starter battery. You cannot put that on an accessory battery or anything else. And that thing is charged all the time. So I would assume it would drain the battery over time. Like if you left your boat with that hooked up for 6 months, it probably would drain your battery. Don't quote me on that, but that's my understanding that it's hot all the time. That is why I keep a tender on my battery. It does charge it, and usually it's blinking green when I get home. So the Suzuki Outboard is actually doing a good job at keeping my lead acid battery charged. You can't use lithium batteries. You can't use a lithium battery in the Suzuki. That's what Suzuki told me, and it's because it doesn't charge it properly. So you have to use the lead acid. So the only lead acid battery in my boat is the one connected to the outboard. But yeah, I think that's about it. I can't think of anything else to say about the outboard. Over time, we get to see how well this thing goes because I don't intend on getting rid of this boat for a long time. Like I said earlier, I do want to get one of those bigger boats, but that's going to take a good long while. This is the boat. I'm going to take it fishing. It's great for muskie. It's great for bass. And I will probably be muskie fishing and bass fishing. And it's been doing really good with catfish as well. I have brought in multiple trophy fish with clients with this boat so far. So it's the lucky boat. Unlike some of my previous boats, which I considered my unlucky boats. None of the unlucky boats were Excel. I really like the Bay 203. I really like this boat too. Let's see what else I can catch with it and actually get some time to take it out on the water for you guys. I have been slacking a lot. I've been getting a lot of actual guided trips, and I have other things going on that have distracted me from actually taking the boat out to fish with for videos for you guys. So I do apologize for that. Be sure to check out all the older videos on my channel. I've got over 500 videos. There has to be something there that's worth watching again. And that includes the playlist that I linked earlier. Now, as always, I want to thank you for taking your time out of your day to actually watch my video. I really, really appreciate it. Now I'm going to go ahead and edit this and hopefully get this up tomorrow because tomorrow is Thursday and it is really hot in here and I'm sweating. So I'm going to edit the video and hopefully you guys will see it on my normal Thursday, which is going to be the 4th of July. So if this ends up on a Friday instead, well, you know, oops. But thanks again for watching. Hope to see you next time.